gonna flip the script and ask you guys a question about why you chose construction, why you got into it. I could start. My dad was building. Unfortunately, my mom and dad had divorced early in Jamaica, and he had to move, and he had a piece of land, and he decided to build a house. And I mean, at the time I was a kid, it didn't mean anything to me, but just that process of seeing that piece of land transformed into a beautiful home, I, I was in love with it, and I always wanted to be an architect. I ended up going to engineering school because I was too young. But now here we are in construction, and you mentioned an architect, and I say, no thanks. But it's different in Jamaica, but still. So I think the process of transforming something from literally nothing to something else, and helping someone through those headaches and seeing the issues before they happen, I think is almost magical. So I just love the process. So that's why I'm so interested in learning more. But I'll ask you guys, Jeff and Eva, what got you in the industry? What got you excited about this lovely construction?
Eva, I'll let you go, man.
Well, it's kind of interesting. I too went to school for mechanical engineering.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to be an architect, and that's still the goal.
Oh my God!
I'm
Wow.
not.
Yeah.
I had a 2-hour conversation with a guy about this last night at this networking event. But I went to school for mechanical engineering because I didn't go to the school that had architecture as a major. So I just said, if I just do mechanical engineering, I'll get there somehow. Let's just make all the doors open as possible. So I did mechanical engineering. I was a design engineer for 2.5 years. And how I got into the construction industry was my roommate at the time. He got a job up here in Chicago at Pepper Construction. He sent me like this 2-minute YouTube video. Kevin Bredesen, I don't know if you guys know him, but he was at Pepper at the time, and they put together like some VDC highlight roll of what VDC tools are out there. So I saw a drone, and I think I saw like some 3D modeling, and I'm like, I had no idea this was in construction. I had the most unclear perception of what construction was before I got into it. And then when I saw that video, and then my roommate told me about the opportunity that he thinks I should apply for, I actually applied, or I sent an email, whatever it was, and I didn't hear anything back. So I started to like consider getting into the construction game myself by buying a house in my hometown.
Of course.
And I went to the sheriff's office to get this list of foreclosed homes in my hometown. And I'm sitting in my car, and that's when I get a voicemail from the hiring manager at Pepper that's 2 weeks late. The voicemail was in the cloud somewhere for 2 weeks. I didn't hear it. So as soon as I'm about to go see the first house, this voicemail hits my phone. I listen to it. I'm like, oh my God, this is 2 weeks ago. I call him back immediately saying, hey, you guys still interviewing for this position? He's like, yeah, can you be here tomorrow morning? So I drove 3.5 hours north to Chicago, took the interview, and then that next week got the offer. And then I moved from my hometown to Chicago. Why I love the industry now is because, like you said, you're seeing magic in real life. We're creating things that will live after we die. Exactly. Full transparency, we all know that. All these towers, these stadiums, these are going to be here for at least 100, 150 years, maybe further than that. And the beautiful part about it is we've literally found ways as humans to collect the things that have always been on this planet and transition them into facilities, to energy, to building. And, as much exposure I've had to the construction process, project delivery lifecycle from pre-con to closeout, I've got to see how many people and ideas are involved in a building. And I think a lot of people might see construction as just like physical hard costs going into the project. You got some laborers out there, you got some tradespeople, and that's the physical asset coming to life. But the things that happened 10 years before that, the developers who had to go through feasibility, the architects who had to go through schematic design and drawings, that's the beautiful aspect of construction. Is my building that I'm in right now could have been thousands of people involved in this that I'll never meet. That made this real while also making other buildings real time. So that's what I love about construction. But my ultimate goal is to be an architect. I'm just taking my time.
I like that. You're taking the long road. Chris said that earlier. I'll take the long road to get there. So
I'll give me about 10 more years.
Well, now I feel like I should have gone ahead of you because that should have been the mic.
I was going to say, that's a hard act to follow, Jeff.
It is a very hard act.
I'm passionate about it. That's all. I'm passionate.
Now you know why we wanted to have Evart here. For me, Chris, I've been in IT and technology for 25 years. 10 years ago, I found myself with a masonry contractor, and I had similar experience to Evart. Everything I'd ever built had, helped people go skiing or buy retail stuff or even done some real estate stuff and made, a person's life better or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'd never walked past something that my technology had a part in building and had that feeling, that connection, like, wow. And I'm like, I only gave them some technology. I didn't put a single stone in place. I was working for a mason at the time. I didn't ever, pick up a trowel or anything, but I felt connected to the product. And then I got to know the people. Yeah. And to me, the people of construction, especially from the labor side of things, the people that put work in are some of the most incredible people on the planet. And Evart, you're right. Thousands of ideas, things from our earth that became new things. But at the end, a human puts that thing in place, and then it stands. Yeah. And Dustin Burns that was on not too long ago. I was at a speech of his and I used this line consistently. How many of you, and he said, most of you stayed in a hotel room last night. How many of you, probably 15, 20, 30 floors up, how many of you were worried that bed would fall through the floor? None of you. Welcome to construction. Exactly. Yeah. And for me, it's that tangible connection. Even that I sit here on a show and do this on multiple shows and do this and sell software to people that build things. We have projects that go through the Join platform that we feel like we had a hand in, and I see us all celebrate them. We can't necessarily talk about all of them. A lot of them are under NDA, but we see the ribbon cut and we see this building open or this thing go to service the community. And we're just amazed and we get a feeling from it. So, for us, that's why I'm here and that's why I'm hooked, and why I haven't left and don't think I'm leaving anywhere anytime soon.